Welcome to the Sports Livin with Coach Biven podcast. I want to thank all my sponsors: Biven Grounds Crew, Ellis Baseball Academy Performance, Extreme Concrete Cutting, Kentucky Select Properties, Gum Heating and Cooling, Played Again Sports St. Matthews, the Scroggin team at Remax, Shrink Personal Training, Sorg Sport and Wellness, Striegel Family Dentistry, True Officials, Went Family Wealth Management. Again, thank you to all my sponsors. Welcome back to the show. Today we have what I would call, our first professional athlete on the Sports Livin with Coach Biven podcast. We've had a few guys that have retired at this point, but to be a professional athlete going forward and being one at this moment, this is quite an honor for me to have one of our family buddies, one of our travel buddies, one of our good friends that we know very well as parents. And we've spent many a weekends in travel baseball with Gage's parents and had some good times with the Canes Midwest organization. And now we get to follow him in his journey to becoming a major leaguer. So at this time, I want to welcome Gage Stanifer to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
This is going to be a fun one because it's just one of those things you sit there and look at. Everybody's kid wants to go play professional baseball at the Little League days of starting out, and it's just one of those things. I get to actually interview one, and one that I know quite well, and one that I know is a hard worker, and that's going to make it to the big leagues one day. I feel that in my heart, and I know our family and your family's got your back, and you're going to do it, buddy. So let's get right into it because I want to talk about all that hard work and dedication that you've put in since going pro out of high school. So let's get started with the youth days. I know you probably played some other sports, but what all the sports did you play?
Yeah, growing up, it was really just football and baseball. I played a little bit of rec basketball, but two main sports were just football and baseball.
And then did you all have Little League up there, or did you go like straight to travel, or how'd that work?
We did have Little League. I played probably a year or two with I think T-ball and coach pitch, and then it was just right into Westfield travel ball, and then into club travel ball.
And then I know you started with Indiana Bulls, and then that's where we kind of got to meet up at 15U baseball with the Canes Midwest. I'm sure your experiences at the youth level, 14 and under, were pretty good with travel baseball. You played some good competition, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Always playing around Grand Park or down south. Always good baseball competition.
Oh, yeah. Two great organizations for sure. So then you get into high school. You're at Westfield High School. And how did that start, I guess, with your baseball career? And did you play basketball there at all?
I did not play basketball. Just did some rec ball, but main focus in high school was just baseball. Kind of knew that's always what I wanted to do. I enjoyed playing football growing up, but a couple too many injuries and didn't really enjoy it a whole lot to keep playing.
Oh, yeah. You could have been a tall receiver, or a tight end, or a quarterback, or whatever, I'm sure. And then I know, I think Tucker's mentioned, or I've seen you've thrown it down a few times on the basketball court. You can dunk, right?
Oh, yeah. It was my favorite part of rec ball, just catch some lobs and dunk.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. I know I've seen some videos of the rec league. That's pretty cool. I don't know if we really had too much of that down here. You had to kind of go to another league, but that was neat. You got to play in that, so to speak. So you get to baseball. Freshman year, how does that work with at Westfield High School? What'd you play there?
So I started out just playing JV my freshman year. I pitched and played outfield my freshman year, and ended up getting to go up with the varsity team during sectionals. I didn't play. It was more just an experience thing, get around the older group of guys and see how all that was ran. But after my freshman year, decided to just be a PO throughout. Obviously missed sophomore year with COVID. But yeah, I just went with PO. I knew I was probably going to be a pitcher at the next level, and that's what I liked most.
Yep. I want to kind of get into that because it's pretty amazing. You had your sights set on professional baseball from an early age, I feel, especially being a PO. When you played football, you played basketball. I'm sure you're a great athlete and could have roamed the outfield and hit in any high school lineup in the state of Indiana, but you chose to concentrate and work on your craft from an early age that most kids, don't do. So you enter your senior season and you have a good year, I'm sure. Tell me a little bit. I'm sure some scouts were having some of the old radar guns back there at your senior year. How'd that go for you?
Yeah, I mean, I remember probably the coolest experience was my first game of senior year, playing at Franklin Central. It was like 30 degrees, and there were probably 15 to 20 scouts. And I remember I was just so juiced up seeing everyone back there. So it was pretty sweet.
That's awesome. You got some visitors I see there. Is that your team or the other team?
Yeah, it's our team coming in.
That's your team. Cool. Awesome. And you
Yeah.
guys are on the road right now. And again, thank you for coming on. It's kind of a quick notice, but it's working out for you. Where are you guys playing tonight?
We're playing over in Fort Myers at the Twins Park, Hammond
All
Stadium.
right. All right. And then I mentioned, I guess I did. And if I didn't, you're with the Toronto Blue Jays and you were, before we get back into some of the travel ball, but you're drafted out of high school and in 2022. And like I said, you knew from the get go you wanted to pitch in professional baseball. And so your senior year, you finish your all senior year. How was that end of the year for y'all finishing?
We ended up winning first game of sectionals and then lost second round. We had a really, really good team, honestly. I thought we could have gone pretty far, but some unfortunate things happened in the second game and just didn't go
Yeah.
our way.
Yeah, and it's and I think you're all up there with like this. Our sectional down here is just insane. You got just
Yeah.
a tough sectional. Sometimes teams are
Oh,
ranked
yeah.
top two teams in the top five, and you're playing each other in the first stinking round.
Yeah. I think that Central Indiana Conference is probably some of the best in Indiana, if I,
Oh yeah, yep,
not to be biased, but
yeah. I want to mention that too for you to mention, but we don't do it down here. But you guys do like a best 2 out of 3, in what conference is it called again?
the Crossroad Conference.
Yep, and you go
Yeah.
to how's that work? You go up and down at each other's place and
Yeah.
play.
Yep.
And
Just
so
quick little
two would be at one
series.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just neat. It's kind of like the NCAA ball. Obviously, following that with conferences, you go play a 3-game series at away or at home, but
Yeah. It
kind
was
of neat.
nice. I mean, a little more competitive games, I would
Yeah,
say. So
yep,
it was cool.
yep. Let's say, and it means something. I mean, that's the cool thing about it. You can win a conference championship because you're playing actual 2 out of 3 against the
Yeah.
teams in your conference. So
Right.
that's neat. And we'll move to the Canes Midwest days. 15U, you and Tucker joined up, and along with some other daggone good players
Oh,
out
yeah.
there. And I'd say we had a pretty good 3-year run. I guess give me a little bit about your the travel ball days and what it meant to you to play with some of the good guys in Indiana.
Yeah. I mean, I think that first year with the Canes was probably the coolest experience. Just playing with a whole new group of guys. Kind of a late team put together, but a really good group of players. A lot of talent, traveled about anywhere possible to play, just some of the top talent around the states. So we were always playing good baseball. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I know. I talked to your dad many a times, and some more dads up that way, and some dads in Evansville, and we all made it work. I think perfectly to get that, like you just said, it was kind of late to get us in together, but it worked out perfectly, and we
Yeah,
had a lot of kids that stayed all 3 years, which I thought was pretty neat for that to
yeah.
happen. So you know,
I think the even better part about the team is just the bond between all the players and parents. I feel like that's kind of hard to come by, especially for it to stick for multiple years. So that was sweet.
yep. I think everybody's got a goal to want their kid to play college or get drafted to professional baseball. But I thought like you said, all of our parents had a great attitude about the team and wanting to win
Yeah,
some games in summer because sometimes everybody gets lost into, oh, I want my kid recruited. I want to yada, yada, yada. But we had a group of parents and kids that wanted to win baseball games, which I thought was
yeah.
really neat.
You kind of knew going into it with the group of guys we had, it was going to be you're going to have a lot of eyes on you with schools and pro scouts. So there was going to
Yep.
be a lot of opportunity.
Guarantee it. That was a great experience for sure. So we didn't play travel ball, obviously after your senior year of high school. So after your senior year, you had about what, 2 months or so before the draft.
Yep.
Give us a little rundown on how the nerves were going and how you were, discussing things with your parents, I'm sure, and your agent and
Yeah.
all that. How'd that go?
So, well, I guess the first few weeks of that summer after senior year, I ended up playing at a local college league at Grand Park, um, just to play with a little bit older talent, assuming I would go into some college ball. But it was also a good opportunity for scouts to get some last minute eyes on me, which I thought that was a cool environment to be in. Just competed against different guys I've never seen.
Oh yeah.
Um, so that was really cool. But I mean, other than playing games, there were a couple workouts that I decided to do, and but I mean, I think most of the talk came from that fall ball before my senior year, leading into the senior year. So
Right.
yeah,
Yep. I guess you call that 18U, that fall ball summer
yeah,
there. Yeah. We had some good times there for sure too. And that basically you knew you wanted to go. You were committed where? To
I was
college.
committed to University of Cincinnati.
That's right. Yep.
Yep.
That's right. And you're kind of like your heart was set on playing professional baseball. So the draft gets here. It was pushed back. Was it pushed back into July of the year you got drafted? Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a little
Yeah.
bit, like you said, that summer you played with, which was a really neat thing. I think that came about with COVID, that Indy Summer
Yeah.
College League, and that helped you uh, throw to some older kids and get some actual great exposure there, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
in the draft in July, you're sitting there, you're waiting. Tell some of the parents and some of the kids listen, like how awesome that was to hear your name and know you're going to play professional baseball.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty crazy. Obviously, you go and watch day one, all those guys getting their name called, and you're sitting there realizing that at some point your name's going to be called. Um, and it's pretty cool. Just being able to hear your name called after so many years of hard work and knowing that's what you've been wanting to do. And you finally get the opportunity to go and continue to work at what you're wanting to do long term. Is just a great opportunity. Um, I was taken in the 19th round, so I really thought that it was a great opportunity for me. I talked it over with my parents, and I thought that I had put myself in a good position with everything I've kind of worked through in high school, and my work ethics kind of put me in a good spot to go into pro ball and put me where I am now.
Yeah, definitely. And you worked out from an early age. Your dad, trust me, he talks to me all the time about how buff he is. You know him, but I know he worked out. He did some actual bodybuilding competitions and things. He's helped me
Yeah.
throughout my little journey. Almost going to be 50 here soon, but workouts and eating and supplements, and I really appreciate that from him. But I know he helped you kind of get a foundation going,
Oh yeah.
and that was huge for you. Tell us about, not just the work ethic, because we know, I can tell everybody right now that you got that down 100%, but you started probably lifting like a pitcher. I mean, you're well built already, and you were, well put together in high school, but you did work hard. What did you do kind of towards that for pitching?
Yeah. I mean, the big thing was just lifting heavy and continuing to lift heavy in season. I think that's always helped me out. It's made me feel healthy. Um, I think a big thing is also nutrition. Nutrition was huge in high school. Just getting calories in to build muscle and gain weight and put my body in the right spot. But I would also say the recovery side of things was huge. Um, we have a place back home called the Recovery Room where I was able to do cryotherapy, Normatec, game ready, red light therapy, all that stuff to recover my body and get it ready for every day I had to throw.
Yep. Yeah, we got to stay at your house a few times during the summer ball weekends up there since you were so close to Grand Park. But I'm pretty sure your dad had a couple milkshakes ready for you in the morning with the protein drinks. Some of them you didn't like throwing down, but like I said, he's been there, done that, so he knew how to throw
Yeah.
weight on you. And I think that's just a huge advantage, for you to be able to get that in your system and him to know exactly what to do for you and help you. I'm sure
Oh
cook
yeah,
a few steaks at night on the grill too to get some more protein in you.
for sure.
So you get the call, Toronto Blue Jays. Then what do you do? I don't know the process. What do you do?
So I think it was like 36 hours before I was on the plane to go down to the complex to sign my papers.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got the phone call, ended up getting off the call, called my agents, talked through everything, and ended up deciding to sign. Um, and then I got my flight information to come down to the PDC, and so my parents were able to come down, sign my papers,
Awesome.
go through the last week of draft camp, meet all the guys in the draft class. So
That's awesome. And I'm gonna say it wrong, but that you're you're in the Florida complex, so to speak. There's an Arizona with half the teams, and there's a Florida complex with half the teams.
yep,
And so you're with Dunedin. How'd I do?
yep, yeah,
All right, Dunedin. All right, so that's where the Toronto Blue Jays complex is, and that's where you would go. You went out of high school and started working out that fall, didn't you?
yeah,
Okay.
yep. Just did some live at bats and bullpens and uh, through a couple labs, but really just kind of get in, let everyone see what the younger guys had. Some
Yeah.
guys went off to affiliates, but kept most of the young high school guys at the
Yeah.
complex.
And I'm
Yeah,
sure one thing I know I've talked to your dad about, but they kind of asked about they knew your innings pitched, but like at Westfield, they knew what you threw. They kind of knew what you threw in that college summer league, so they kind of know we're going to get him here and just see him, just a little
yeah,
bit. We don't need to send him to, to an affiliate and start throwing 50 innings, right?
right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's manage the workload, see if guys have been shut down for a little bit, where guys are at. So yeah,
It's a business, right? It's fun, but they know what they're doing. I mean, you got a
yeah,
great pitching coaches from what your dad has said, in your organization, from down to the complex league to now where you're at. You're at single A
yeah,
Dunedin, and that's where you're
yeah.
currently at.
I mean, from top to bottom in this org, we got a lot of great resources, a lot of great coaches. So I mean, I don't think the organization gets enough credit, but I really think our development here is pretty good.
And you have a beautiful place there, don't you? Don't the Blue Jays have just an unbelievable looking place for your whatever locker rooms and stuff
Yeah,
to work out?
it's insane.
Yeah. We'll have to get. I'll put a link on at the end of this, but I know there's like a YouTube video your dad sent me a couple
Yeah,
years ago.
yep. I think there was a guy recently that was actually just doing a facility tour.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, I was in
put that
doing
on there.
recovery on an off day, and he was in there doing a
That's
tour.
amazing what I seen anyway. So for hitters,
Yeah.
pitchers, working out wise, I mean, you have to have all that nutrition
Oh yeah.
wise. I mean, it's there. Your second year, 2023, you report in the spring.
Hmm.
Is that what happens? And then you stayed at the
Yeah.
complex league.
Yep. So I went in for early camp in 23. Um, it's like a month before spring training starts, and then went through spring training, went through extended spring training, and then started in the FCL for the complex league, which ran through August.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you in 2024, you start at the complex league, but then you get called up to Dunedin. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep. I
2024.
went down again for early camp again, regular spring training. I went probably a week or two into extended and got pulled mid start to go to join Dunedin.
Gotcha. And then
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this, so I'm going to say it now, but people need to understand that there's not a fast track, especially with arms. I mean, they're going to take you slow, especially in your organization. Sounds like it's a great avenue to build you up slowly. I mean, you started from 19 years old in the organization. Now you're what? Are you 21 yet?
21. Yeah.
21. I mean, it's only 2 or 3 years of this, and you have obviously now in 2025 reached Dunedin's A ball team, and you're looking to push forward at whenever the time's right to what I'm
Yeah.
thinking is high at that's up in Vancouver.
Yep.
Okay, you get to
Yeah.
go a little taste of the Canadian side, I guess. If you get
Oh
it,
yeah.
make it up there this year, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Baseball up there is apparently crazy. They pack the house every night. Fans up there are awesome,
Yeah,
supposedly.
that'd
So
be
it
great.
should be a pretty cool environment to play in.
That's awesome. And I mean, again, back to the letting parents and the kids know listening, like you've hit what, 99 mile an hour this year? What, 98?
Yeah, yeah, 98.
Yeah. And what's your pitches?
Just fastball, splitter, and slider.
And you have been a starter. You've have been a reliever this year. Kind of, I wouldn't say you are relieving, but you're kind of getting 3 or 4 innings. So in pro ball,
Yeah,
like tell us, but they work with you to get your innings in compared to what you are, so to speak.
yeah. So right now we got probably 7 or 8 total starters on this staff. So a lot of the days we're doing piggyback starts, where the first guy out's normally going 5 to 6, and the guy piggybacking's normally either getting 3 or 4 innings,
Yep.
Just to keep work workload up and pitch count up.
Yeah. Yep.
But I also think it's good in a way to have different experience out of the bullpen and just be used to a different environment instead of
Yeah.
just always starting and
Yeah.
develop a different routine.
Yeah. Versatility for sure in professional baseball, because as you know, you'll do whatever the Blue Jays want you to do, to make it up
Exactly.
a ladder and make it to the major leagues. I mean, that's there. You work
Yeah.
for them, as you know, and that's another thing parents just don't understand. And I get the question with Tucker, is he going to be a starter or reliever if he gets, blessed enough to get drafted? And I'm like, the team that picks him decides that.
Yeah.
We don't decide any of that stuff. So
Oh yeah.
it's just,
And
that's it.
so you might move as a reliever to start out, but eventually you could come back to being a starter if that's what they need. I mean, if you start at one point, that's always going to be there long term. If they know that you started and have experience as a starter, they might try to bring you back as a starter later on. But I mean, obviously, early on, whatever's going to help them out early and get you to whatever they need, it's what they're going to do.
Yep. You got a couple big picks with you right now, don't you? Pitchers. You got East Carolina kid.
Yeah, we got Trey Savage and Cal Steven. Cal's also an Indiana guy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yep. He was down in Mississippi State his last year, I think.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get to some of the guys lean on you. You probably lean on them just as much as just chat baseball, chat pitching. I mean, how's that go?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, just kind of pick their brain on experience. Obviously, being 3 or 4 year college guys, they've been through a different kind of environment than I have been. So kind of just going through their mindset when they're on the mound, or just maybe looking at their arsenal or whatever it might be.
Yep.
But just developing bonds with all the pitchers on the team is just huge.
Sure. Mechanics and pitch grips. I'm sure a lot of that gets discussed. You got a lot of downtime. Let's go over that real quick, because you do in the minor leagues, they play 6 days a week and you're off on Mondays, correct?
Yeah.
So especially as a pitcher, how does it's some long weeks.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess this year is our first year doing a 5-day rotation. So like last year we were on a 7-day. So it's a little different this year. I personally like it a little bit more. Sometimes we get to throw twice in the week. If you're the Tuesday starter, you also get Sunday.
Gotcha.
But I mean, normally when your day's done, your week's done, unless you're that 2 times for the week. So you kind of just sit with the group of pitchers, kind of just watch the games, read the at bats from the other teams, go over game plans, whatever it might be, and then normally after the week's done, we all just hang out and get together and enjoy the off day.
Nice. Yeah, we have me and Jessica's new place. We have the 12 Louisville Bats staying here at the AAA affiliate of the Reds, and on Mondays is their off day as well. They're down cooking out, grilling out, the pool, hanging out, and that's just pretty neat to experience. But let's go with you're at home, because on the road we kind of know, everybody knows you stay in the hotel and you get to the ballpark at a certain time. But at home you're in your place, and you wake up. Let's give us a quick 6 p.m. game, and you're starting, or you're going to be the piggybacker. How's it go? When you get up, what time? Let's go.
Normally I'll get up at like probably 9:30. Try to get some decent sleep. Get a little bite for breakfast. I'm not a big breakfast fan, so normally it's like probably just a smoothie or a muffin.
No coffee?
Nah, I don't
All right.
drink coffee.
All right.
Um, Go to the gas station, get an energy drink maybe. Go back to the
Choice. What's your
apartment.
choice?
C4. That's
All
that's
right.
about
All
all we
right.
can have.
Oh, I
Um,
got you. Yeah. For reasons.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. So probably go back to the apartment, chill for a little bit, maybe watch a movie or a TV show. Head to the field about 1 o'clock. Just chill, change into my baseball pants, just a t-shirt, and then probably around like 3 o'clock, I'll grab another bite to eat. Just have a pregame meal. Uh, I'll do my pregame journal, and then probably around 5 o'clock start prepping, get the body moving, and just if I'm piggybacking, I'll just go watch the starter play catch,
All right.
watch this pregame pen, and then I'll just sit in the pen and wait for my time to be
It's your
called.
turn. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. Yeah. You're in Florida. It's humid a lot of the time, especially in the summer. So people are probably like, why aren't you at the beach and hanging on the water? But that absolutely could not happen unless it's your off day, I'm guessing, right?
yeah, oh yeah.
Just hot.
I went
Just
I went out to the pool the other day on my off day, and I ended up falling asleep on accident and just getting sunburnt. So
oh boy, yeah, that ain't good for the arm. That's for sure.
yeah,
How's your the lifting program? Let's go a little bit off season, or let's go with your off season routine, so to speak. You get to go home back to Westfield, correct?
yep.
Okay.
So I spent the entire off season in Westfield. I came down for a camp early October, just to kind of go over the off season plan. And then I mean everything was kind of on my own. I did all my stuff at PRP and LA Fitness.
Yep.
I was lifting Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, off Wednesday, Sunday, with
Gotcha.
just like core and mobility. Um, but I mean, most of it was just kind of, I programmed a lot of my own stuff, did some of what the Blue Jays gave me, and then all the stuff I did with PRP was just kind of through myself.
Yep. Ramping up. That's throwing there, right? That's
Yeah,
facility that you actually throw at and work on the heavy
yeah,
balls, different weighted stuff you're throwing around. I've seen that online.
yeah, yeah. All the water bags and med
Yeah.
balls and
Okay.
drive line balls.
Cool. Cool. You get a little time to relax, but you're still working hard to
Oh
get
yeah,
to the next level the next year. So it's
yeah,
not like you're going 5 or 6 months and you go golfing 8 days a week. When you get home, you just get back at it. Really, is what you're doing.
yeah,
You're recovering too, I'm sure, arm care and things like
yeah.
that.
Get probably like three to 4 weeks off,
Yep.
and then kind of right into the on ramp and take you into about late December. The dead period ends because I'm trying to think. We have a dead period from November through I think the first week of January, um, and then normally that first week of January camps will start up and they'll bring guys down and just have check-ins.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome. And when you go back, you're there now. You got there what month? You started the season like what, April? You got
yeah.
down there in
First week of
March.
April.
Yeah.
I got down here last week of January.
Okay. Dang.
Um, and then I've just been down here since then. I
Wow.
was down here for a check-in, went home for a week, came back down for early camp, and then just been down here since then.
Nice. And it starts the
Yep.
season in April-ish or so and end in early
Yeah.
August.
Yep. First week of April, I think through,
I think it's
yeah, through,
early August,
uh,
first week of August, I
yeah,
think, when I looked on the schedule. So
yeah.
it's the long season though, 6 days a week.
Oh, yeah.
People don't
I think
understand that either. It's long.
136 games, something like that.
A lot of time at the ballpark. You better love it, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a
Yep.
great time. I don't think I've enjoyed baseball as much as I have since being here, honestly.
It's awesome. The minor leagues of, the major league teams and everybody, owners, whatever, got together. They do have a nice little better pay scale now. They pay for minor leagues housing when you're at your home field.
Yep. We get
Will
our housing
do.
covered. We got a couple meals a day covered. When we're on the road, we get a weekly food stipend. So
Yep.
they
Good.
take care of us.
That's awesome. And obviously you can do some things at home if you want to, maybe some lessons or go cut some grass or do whatever you want to do. But if you don't need
Oh yeah,
to, you go work out like you're doing and make the best of it. So that's your
exactly.
dream, right?
Yeah.
You so far, I want to let everybody know your stat line, which is insane. You've pitched in 6 games this year. You're 4-0, all in relief because you're basically piggybacking as basically a second starter, another starter on that team. But you got an ERA of .41, 22 innings pitched, 31 Ks, and a .91 WHIP. So, explain the WHIP again. I know we were talking about that, so people probably don't even understand what that is.
Yeah, so it's walks, hits, and innings pitched. So mine's a little inflated with walks. Still got to cut that down a little bit, but if I can keep that under a 1, it's going to be in a pretty good spot.
Good. Yep. The K's are definitely up, so that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Anything for the aspiring youth baseball player, high school player, college player that wants to go pro? I mean, you're a junior. You should be a junior in college, and here you are in your third, fourth year of professional baseball. I mean, you got some knowledge, some experience. I mean, give a little bit to the kid who dreams of playing professional baseball one day.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest things is like realizing struggle is part of the game. Um, Struggle is going to lead you to success. My first 2 years, I struggled. I posted a 6.5 ERA my first 2 years. So, I mean, success isn't always on a upward scale. So, I mean, you just got to trust the process, continue to work, and realize everything you're doing daily might not be paying off the next day, but it's a long, hopefully a long career where all your work can pay off. Maybe it's in a year from now, but it's all just a process. And if you're bought in and you continue to work, it's going to pay off and show. So don't give up and don't beat yourself up, but just continue to work hard and trust the process and trust yourself and just do what you can to make yourself better long term. Because even if you're struggling, that's just part of the game.
Absolutely. You got the stuff, you got the body, you got the arm. I mean, the teams know that, your team knows that, and it's like you said, a process. You want to be a major leaguer when you're 30. I mean, you're 21 years
Exactly.
old, that's hard to think about, but even beyond that, that's your goal. So
Yeah,
it just one day at a time, like you said, and let the journey take care of itself. So I want to
exactly.
thank you again. Uh, for getting to know you, obviously, through all those years. But thank you for having you come on the show and give us some knowledge and give us your story so far. And we know it's going to end well.
Of course, thank you for having me on.
Yep. All right, buddy. Good luck. We'll see you.
Thank you.